Joy Guru. Today I would like to narrate the qualities of a natural leader, and I would like to give an example of such leader. And let me tell the qualities of a natural leader. Natural leader is he who has jumped first and shown the way. Otherwise, only empty words cannot make a leader. Natural leader is he who sells his self at the feet of others. Natural leader is he who forgets to reckon the faults of others as faults. Natural leader is he who is selfless in service. If a person does this, then he is the leader, he is the king, or you can say he is the heart of the country, he is the king of the country. Otherwise, all these won't be achieved by words alone. If you wish to be a true leader, natural leader, then you must give up the charm of leadership at first. Give up your self-praise, you see, and you must do for others. And you must show them what is blissful and what is true for them. And speak of that to others. You will see how thousands would follow you. Now, from these 10 points, I reckon that Sri Thakur Anukul Kotha is a natural leader par excellence. Even when he was a kid, his classmates used to call him as Raja Bhai. Though he was no king, Raja means king, as you know, he had no empire, and he actually his parents were very mediocre family, and but then both of them were honest, and honest, having absolute integrity. This is for certain. Now, when he was a kid, it was found that he loved them very much. He played with them. He loved to play with them. He loved to feed them. Just see, from the very, when he was a mere kid, one day, for example, his mother, Mata Manmohani Devi, kept a tumbler filled up with boiled milk. And then, after some time, as is usually with the case, the milk was cold and a thick layer of cream was deposited at the top of the milk. Sri Thakur Anukul Kotha, at that point of time, he was roaming with his friends, and he immediately hatched a plan to feed his friends. He immediately actually collected a stem of jute plant. Jute plant was all available surrounding his house, and he collected a stem of jute. And the speciality of the stem jute is simply that it has a central cavity all along its length, and he pierced that stem through an open window and ultimately pierced through the thick creamy layer and dipped into the milk. And he asked his friends to suck milk from the tumbler. And all of his friends, one after another, actually drank the milk, and at last Sri Thakur Anukul Kotha drank a little bit of milk. And when her mother came, she saw that it was as usual. The thick creamy layer was was visible, but then there was not a drop of water inside the tumbler. She immediately realized that this was the task of his son, Sri Thakur Anukul Kotha. But just see the intellect of his invention. Just see that that his joy was to comfort others. His joy was to feed others. Even when he was a kid, just imagine. And in the school, for example, one day it was a chilling cold day. It was actually winter season, and Sri Thakur Anukul Kotha saw that a friend of his had no warm sheet of cloth. He immediately realized the pain of the discomforts of his friend, and he immediately tore his own warm sheet into two pieces and gave one piece to him, so that friend at least got some amount of comfort. And in the school, it is really surprising to see that all of his classmates actually not only loved him but respected him. by calling Raja Bhai. For example, they all see they were protesting when the teachers, for example, if any teacher scolded Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra for any apparent mischief which was not done by Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. However, the students used to tell to teachers, see, sir, Raja Bhai has no faults. See, teachers got stunned, and they were compelled to realize that this boy was a different, was a different boy. You see, at that point of time, the students, particularly of that remote village, they were absolutely obedient to their teachers. They used to accept their beatings for their mischiefs or for other reasons. But see, when Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra was scolded by any teacher, all of them were suddenly got protesting. You see, they were protesting students, and the teachers were frightened to see this scenario, because as we all know that the students of that rural community, they were actually timids, they were faint-hearted, they were chicken-hearted, and they were ready to accept all the beatings of the teacher, because that was the tradition at that point of time. But when Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra was scolded by any teacher, all of them protested. See, isn't it? See, is this not or is it anything less than a miracle, less than supernatural? You see, and then when he came to Calcutta to study medicine at National Medical School, then he had to stay a filthy place where porters, laborers, they used to stay because of the paucity of money. Because as I have already stated that he came from a, I should say, poor family, not absolutely poor, but it's a mediocre family, I should say. So therefore, because of the paucity of money and because of the lack of any communications, she had to stay at a filthy place where, as I have stated, porters and laborers actually stayed. But then within few days, he was indispensable to all of them, because he used to wash the dirty clothes of theirs without even intimating them. See, all of them gradually realized the nature of this, of this absolutely different person. And not only that, Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra used to treat them with homeopathic medicine, which he had learned from a book meant for the purpose. And he will be surprised to know when Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra wanted to go to his native village, then he had to go to station to board the train, and you see a kind of competition was evidently visible among the laborers as to who would carry his luggage. Just see the dimension of their love and respect towards Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. And when he came back to his, and again when he was an internee, you see, in a hospital, then the nurses and the other health staffs, I see, they gave responsibility to Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra to take care of the patients, just to deceive their own duties. Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra understood this, but then he actually served this responsibility with all cheerfulness. You see, and particularly the nurses and other health staffs, they actually thought Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra a bit foolish. But was it really so? On the other hand, he actually fulfilled the qualities of a natural leader, as I have stated. For example, a natural leader is he who actually forgets to reckon the faults of others as faults. He is absolutely selfless in service. You see, isn't it an example to, or you can say, isn't it an example, or rather a very glaring example to exhibit these qualities? Now, when he came back to his native village and he started his medical practice, here again he was a doctor with a difference, because he used to treat the patients using all three kinds of medical treatment, that is namely Ayurvedic medicine, homeopathic medicine and allopathic medicine. Though he was basically an allopathic practitioner, but still he used to treat the patients using either by Ayurvedic or by homeopathic or by allopathic medicine, or combination of all these three system of medicine, or you can say medical treatment. When he was asked, in which pathy did he believe in, Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra immediately replied that, I am not medicine fanatic, I am cure fanatic. So just see his attitude. So that means his ambition was, or you can say his attitude, you can say, or he believed in curopathy, I would like to say. And here again, he is a leader, because nowadays, or you can say modern medical fraternity is seriously thinking about about the integrated treatment of all the medical treatments that are available to us. So therefore, he was the pioneer in this respect, I would like to say. And then when he actually came into the religious field, then actually, as I have already stated, he didn't take any fees for his treatment, but patients themselves actually fixed his fees, which was at par with the distinguished physicians of Calcutta. Can you imagine? He was a physician of a very remote village, but then it is stated that at no patient, he actually treated all the patients, and he actually made everyone cured. This maybe it may sound peculiar, but it's a fact. It's nothing supernatural, or but it seems supernatural. It sounds supernatural, but it was a very common feature. That's the reason why all the doctors of that particular locality were envious to Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. Anyway, and then he realized that disease, the root cause of the disease, lies not in the physic but in the mind. Therefore, it is deep rooted within the mind. The diseases are simply the external manifestations of the complexes that are deeply impregnated within the mind. So therefore, he thought that I need to cleanse the mind, and he came into the religious field. And in the religious field, he immediately started to write songs for kirtans. He actually prepared prepares some kirtan groups, and in the kirtan he also later on he also joined in kirtan, and you will be surprised to know a kind of trance. Actually, he had trance for let's say for at least 72 days or so, and during trance his heartbeat was absolutely his heartbeats were not visible, were not perceptible. Not only that, his body got absolutely cold, but still he used to speak, and all his lectures, all his preachings are written in a book named Holy Book. And this is the highest order of religion par excellence. Anyway, and then he actually, then people all around flocked to him, not only the common people but also some of the eminent personalities, including scientists, doctors, and other engineers and other host of people. They flocked to Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, and they got initiated by the holy name that Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra gave to them. And in the process, a kind of ashram was established. And in the ashram, you just see Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra established, very many scientific establishments. For example, chemical factory, and then studio, and then medicine factory, Ayurvedic medicine factory, and a host of other scientific, scientific workshops. Just see, he actually merged the religion and science. I would like to say. In other words, science and religions, I should say, they become integrated by the theory of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra has propounded an integrated philosophy of life, You see, he has stated that God is one and only, and unique one. And not only that, regarding dharma, Sri Thakur Anukul Kotha stated, just see, the stay of existence, stay of all existence is dharma. And dharma is one, and there is no variety of it. Can you imagine? He is, I think he is one, he who actually has said this, that dharma is one, and there is no variety of it. And he has also stated that to speak of Hindu dharma, Mohammedan dharma, Christian dharma is in my view is wrong. They are simply views, and there is actually no difference between the different views. You see, the same feelings, but stated from different perspectives. This is just the matter. But after all, dharma cannot be many. Dharma is one, and there is no variety of it. Just see his nobleness, I should like to say. There is always, I should say, nobility in his approach, right from his, I should say, right from his childhood days. You see, and as I have already stated, he has stated that God is one and unique one. And then he has stated that we must respect our ancient sages and rishis, and we must give respect to earlier prophets, but we must follow the instructions of the present prophet, because that is dharma is all about. That is, if you want to for example, if you want to respect Lord Krishna, yes, you can do it. Or people at Dapur era, they actually they followed the instruction of Lord Krishna, not the instruction of Lord Ramachandra. But this does not automatically mean that they did not have any respect on to, let's say, on Ramachandra. Not at all. In other words, Ramachandra was very much present within Lord Krishna. Same is the case with the present incarnation of God, or present supreme person, which we call as Purushottam. Purushottam is the supreme person. And he has also stated that you need to follow the three pillars, or you can say the three processes, in order to get godlyhood, in order to get immortality. See, what are those? Number one is jojon, that is self sadhana. That is sadhana which is done by the self. That is, for example, jojon means the way through which I can get myself attached with God. And see, for example, I may get myself attached with the God by repeating the holy name that Sri Thakur Anukul Kotha has given to me, or I can meditate, see, his good qualities, that is also in a way to get myself attached with him. And again, if I sing kirtan, if I sing song which is in praise of him, that is also in a way to get myself attached with him. This is what is jojon. And then jajon, it means that to infuse, to transmit the idea of love Lord to others. Because after all, you may definitely question as to why I think about others. Because this is the principle of spiritual world, that you cannot see. After all, you are not a discontinuous part of this universe. In other words, every component of this universe, is interrelated, or you can say they are all interrelated and interdependent. So you cannot ignore anybody. So you will have to think for others. You will have to take care for others. You will have to say the life philosophy of your Ishto, that is of your beloved, that is of your supreme person, or rather you can say the latest incarnation of God, as we all know, that you see, God comes in the form of anthropogenic form, that is in the form of human being, as Lord Ramachandra has come for the first time, and then Lord Krishna, and there is a series. So we must follow the instructions of the latest incarnation of God, or latest supreme person. So therefore, jajon, you need to infuse, you need to say the life philosophy of the latest incarnation of God to others, so that others would follow him, and they would progress in the spiritual pathway. In other words, your progress in spiritual pathway, absolutely depends upon the progress of upon the spiritual progress of others. In other words, all of us are, you can say, integrated by a kind of integrating thread. So you cannot ignore it. And the last is Ishtovriti. This is you can say, an auto-initiative reverential love offerings to Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. Sorry, to Ishto or to beloved. It is very necessary, because it is, as Swami Vivekananda stated, almost like this, that spiritualism is all about selflessness. In other words, you will have to be unselfish. You will have to be selfless if you want to come into this world of spiritualism. There is no respite. There is no, see, it is you can say it is mandatory. So therefore you need to sacrifice something, as Lord Krishna has also stated in Bhagavad Gita in the 12th sloka of the 3rd chapter, where Lord Krishna has stated like this: Ishtan bhogan hibo deva darshante yoggo bhavitao toyere dattana pradayabho jo bhunkote steno evo soho. The essence of this sloka is simply that you must give something to me, and it is quite natural. The nature from which we procure foods or everything, and if I do not give something to that, which is the creation of the God Himself, then I am simply an ungrateful creature. It is absolutely, I should say, a case or an example of ingratitude. So therefore, we need to give something to Him. This is what is to be. Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra has made it a habit. That is, you will have to give something on everyday basis, so that a kind of habit will be formed within you, which is essential. So if we follow these three principles, namely Jojon Jajon Ishtabhriti, then in a way we can achieve immortality. In other words, because see, through all these practices, through all these austere practices, I am actually always connecting myself with the God. So therefore, this is the matter. So if I want to, we can say, if I want to get Him, if I want to know His qualities, if I really want to get Him, then I will have to be attached with Him. This is the first and foremost, you can say, condition. I would like to say. So therefore, Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra has given the most simplified way, and I must say, or you can say, last but not the least, I would like to say that when Supreme Person comes, then a kind of, you see, spiritual revolution, or you can say a kind of, you see, a spiritual revolution comes, and I should say spiritual liberalization also comes, so that it can be even more simplified, it can be even more, you see, rectified. So therefore, Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra has given this theory, or you can say novel theory in spiritualism, which is not, I should say, it is not in conformity with the life philosophy of the previous prophets. Not at all. It is in conformity of the life philosophy of other prophets, but it is constructed on the basis of the, you see, present age. This is the advantage. So here again, he is the natural leader. This is my humble submission. So live in love. Joy.